In a religious mass marking the new year, Patriarch Yohanna X Yazigi calls for dialogue and peace to build Syria. Syrian army units continue to crush terrorists and destroy their hideouts and gatherings. Iran affirms that the best solution to the Syrian crisis is to support the people's right to determine their own future without foreign intervention. Good afternoon and Happy New Year, everybody. A religious mass was held today at the Maryamite Cathedral for the Greek Orthodox in Damascus, marking the new year. The mass was headed by Patriarch Yohanna X Yazigi of Antioch and all the Orient for the Greek Orthodox. In a word he delivered on this occasion, the Patriarch called for dialogue and peace to build Syria, praying to God to preserve Syria secure and stable. In Aleppo and on the occasion of the new year, citizens crowded in Al-Suleimaneyyeh neighborhood, lighting candles and praying to God for peace and stability to prevail throughout the country. They recalled with tears in their eyes how the armed terrorist groups had destroyed their homes and schools and obstructed their means of livelihood. In his letter on the occasion of World Peace Day, Pope Benedict XVI warned against the threat of militants and extremists who tend to distort the true image of religion. The Pope pointed out that our current times are characterized by more violence and bloodshed on a large scale. He expressed anxiety over the spread of conflicts in the world and the absence of equality and justice as the gap between the rich and the poor keep widening. Syrians are in favor of dialogue instead of arms, as new parties continue to join the former process. Within this context, the forces and parties of the Democratic National Bloc held a press conference at the Umayyad Hotel in Damascus, during which they declared their determination to prepare for a forum of dialogue in Damascus.
New parties, the People's Party, Syria the Homeland Party, and the Patriots Rally in the Land of Expatriation Party have declared their step of joining the National Democratic Bloc to unify efforts, promote the national political movement, and recruit potentials, ideas and programs in order to find a way out of the crisis in Syria and build the country with the hands of all its citizens. Under the title, The Syrians Say No to Arms and Yes to the Dialogue of the Mind, ideas were raised during the Democratic National Bloc's Parties Conference, voicing resolve to work earnestly in order to delineate Syria's future and emphasizing support for the Syrian Arab Army to perform its task against those who carry arms. The conference rejected acts of violence and foreign intervention and called for organizing popular committees within a legal framework, urging for lawsuits to be filed and memos to be presented to the UN and international organizations against the persons and institutions that instigate the Syrian people. The participants also called for organizing a national forum of dialogue for the national opposition's parties and commissions to solve the crisis in Syria and outline the mechanisms needed in order to keep Syria free, strong and dignified.
In Hama, a unit of our armed forces killed many terrorists and injured dozens others near the town of Al-Mubarakat, Hama countryside, seizing their weapons. Among the terrorists killed there were Khalid Ahmed al-Ahmed al-Kleb and Khalid Mahmoud al-Khalid. Units of our valiant Syrian Arab Army also eliminated a number of mercenary terrorists in the town of Morak, seizing their different kinds of weapons and destroying their equipment.
is the fate of all who are tempted to encroach on the Syrians and their public or private property. Morik is like other towns which were hit by the terrorism and crimes committed by some mercenary groups that wreaked havoc and devastation, pushing its residents to seek help from the Syrian Arab Army, who immediately responded to the call. So some of the army units cleared the area of the abominable Takfiri groups, killing many of them and forcing the rest to flee away and to announce their surrender. Units of our valiant army also seized large quantities of weapons, including automatic guns, large amounts of ammunition, RPG launchers, different kinds of machine guns, Doshka, PKC, and NATO guns, as well as a mortar gun and its shells. Our armed forces also pounded many terrorist hideouts and destroyed them completely, and also destroyed a pickup equipped with Doshka with many grenades and pistols, asserting that Syrian Arab Army is able to protect Syria and its people.
In Homs, our army units clashed with armed terrorist groups in Dawar Taldaw in the city's countryside, killing a number of them, including the group's leader, Fadi Bakkour, in addition to Majid Al-Yusuf.
In Homs, army units seized amounts of weapons, ammunition, and sophisticated communication devices in Deir Balba. The seized weapons included mortar rounds, shotguns of Doshka machine gun, shotguns of PKC machine gun, grenades, bombs, RPG launchers, in addition to sophisticated communication devices and a field hospital. A source told Sana that various weapons and ammunitions were also seized in Hassia city and Homs countryside. The army also arrested a number of terrorists, including Khalid Hassoun al-Jal'oud, nicknamed Abi Shanagil, the leader of an armed terrorist group called Battalion of Al-Harar Hassia, Brahim al-Homsi, Sanad Marwan al-Rawli, Muhammad Deeb, Hayyan al-Ali, and Mustafa Deeb. An army unit destroyed a mortar and a locally made platform with 4 rockets mounted on it and targeted terrorist gathering in Al-Nasariya area in Taldaw, Homs countryside.
Iran stressed that the best solution to the crisis in Syria is supporting the Syrian people's right to decide their future without foreign interference. At a press conference today aired by Al-Alam news channel, the Foreign Ministry spokesman Rami Mehmanparast reiterated his country's stance, which supports the democratic track in Syria through national dialogue. He added that supplying the opposition in Syria with money and weapons to carry out terrorist acts is conspiracy against the Syrian people. The Iranian official pointed out that the rest of countries in the region might be the next target of such conspiracy. Venezuela's Science Minister Jorge Arieza announced that the health condition of President Hugo Chavez is stable, calling not to believe in ill-intentioned rumors. Arieza, who is married to Chavez's daughter, said that the Venezuelan president spent yesterday quietly and stable, accompanied by his daughters. Chavez had suffered from health complications after a surgery he underwent in Cuba on the 11th of December, which was the 4th surgery within 18 months. With this, we end our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more information about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. And now to latest business and market news with Nariman Qassam after a short break. Happy New Year and God bless Syria.